women's game is evolving all the time and players are getting better. Why should women's rugby be any different?
Six Nations champion.
I owe all of my success in rugby to the All-Ireland League. Without it, I wouldn't have played for Ireland.
It's the people that are around you that help you to, your talent to shine through and show your ability.
I first picked up a rugby ball when I was 18 years of age at the University of Limerick at college training in UL, and from that day on I haven't looked that. As a beginner starting at 18, I had a massive amount of rugby to learn. It was a steep learning curve, but it was a good learning curve because you were really with the best at the time. Briggsy, I suppose, like as a player, she was absolutely incredible for Ireland, for Munster and for the club, UL Bows. And she brought a real sense of professionalism and leadership to any team she played on. And in particular our club team, she really drove standards and wanted the best from everyone. In terms of her moving into the coaching, that's a huge commitment from a person who's already given so much of themselves to the women's game in Ireland. She's played internationally since I think around 2008. It's now 2021, and now she's moved into the coaching element of things. And we're really blessed and privileged to have her coach us at UL Bows for the women's team. Briggsy's game management, her mind for rugby, her analysis, it's just second to none, and you get a real technical, in-depth knowledge of, every aspect of the game through her coaching.
My biggest and best memories are as a child running on sideline while my father was playing. I've said it before, I've struggled with self-esteem as a child. I think sport was my outlet. I think made it found it difficult to make friends at times because we moved a lot when I was younger, so being a part of a team, playing rugby felt so natural, but it also made me fit in and made, I've as I said before, my friends for life from the game, I think, and that's hugely important, I think. Our generation, we didn't have many clubs, we didn't have many access points. I think when you look at the likes of Bailey Parsons, Emily Lane and Breen, they were all probably given access on the back of the success of the national team and the work that the RFU did on the ground. And not just the RFU, I think the provinces. I think that's really important to note. I think, you look now and obviously been involved with Munster from a coaching aspect underage over the last couple of seasons. There's players sprinkling from the not traditional hotbeds of rugby within Munster. The fact now that these 10, 12, 14, 16-year-olds have access to come training twice a week, be involved in games at the weekend, it's definitely going in the right direction, 100%, I think. And it would be remiss of me not to mention that it has jumped massively. Players at international level that have taken the game up at young stages and have come through pathways, I think, Enya Breen, Emily Lane, they all played underage rugby with Skib, and then they went to Munster under-18s, Irish under-18s, and are now fully fledged internationals. That's tangible for any young girl sitting on sidelines and being able to watch that. That's tangible for any girl from Skib, Tralee, looking at Ciara Griffin. I think we've got to keep driving it. It's got to continue to get better, but I think it's going in the right direction.
The skill level, the intensity, the want, the ambition. And I suppose it's just about a case of maybe showcasing that talent, showcasing what it has to offer to a wider community. What the AIL means to me, everything. It means an awful lot. Like some of the friends that I have, lifelong friends or friends that I've made through rugby. I think as humans we always kind of we're drawn to people that are as like-minded, you know, to what you think about yourself or how you're geared up yourself. Like I find, say through rugby, that like that's where my circle is. That's where I feel at home. That's where some of my family are, you know. And there is people that I play rugby with. There's people that have helped me when, you know, when you be down on your luck or whatever. And it's all been through rugby. It's helped me get to where I am today. Like I don't mind telling you, from going from Thurles to Garryowen to Connacht and now to Corinthians. That's a path that was laid out for me that wouldn't have been achievable if the AIL wasn't there, you know. Huge part of my life, probably always will be as well. When I would have been down in Garryowen, like it was an environment that was massive towards performance, but I suppose not only your performance, say, on the pitch, but like the holistic development of a person, you know, as a player. And like just from all the different club members, you know, all the different walks of life that they have, all of them, every one of them willing and able to give you a hand where possible. And that's really important, you know. Like all you have to do is turn up here on a Saturday and Sunday morning and you see the amount of minis that are here. You see how much it means to the community, how much it means to their parents being able to get involved with the coaching. You see how much it means to the coaches being able to pass on a bit of knowledge. The people that come out here and give their time so willingly. Something as well that we're particularly proud of is we have a mixed ability team here that's coached by Derek Nyland and a few others. That started off at something, I think there might have been 3 people in the initial team. I think we've been nearly 50 people out here now training. I felt that when I finished up playing professional rugby, that I'd like to, I suppose, instill that or give that experience back to, you know, younger people that I can coach or mentor, rather than just checking out. I don't think I'd be able to just walk away from rugby either, just go cold turkey and leave it.
Getting in and getting the chance to be involved here has just kind of really kind of made me feel part of it and given me an awful lot of what I would expect to be getting if I was playing. So you still get the community, you still get the sense of achievement, the winning, being part of a team. So yeah, it's filled a lot of that hole anyway. I always joke that the season is actually probably about a 15-month season. People like to think it's maybe like 9 or 8 months, but you start so far in advance when you're in management. You're kind of halfway through the season, you're already into next season already. So it's hours and hours, and it's the kind of stuff behind the scenes that people don't see: the calls, the emails, the dealing with irate people left, right, and centre, and then obviously the trainings and the weekends as well themselves. That kind of family connection always felt like a big and natural thing for me to do, to try and give back to, I suppose, the community that my family have been part of. But it's also, I suppose, the fun and the community side of it for myself, the social side of it, the social aspects, and like down here is great fun. So you kind of want to feel like you're giving a little bit back as well as not just taking.
I love that. I love walking in the gates and having a buzz and hearing noise. Like, I do love that. I miss that. But as well as that, when you like, it's like almost like kind of a second home. Do you know, you always feel comfortable here. Like when you walk in, everybody was just so friendly. Do you know, everybody was very welcoming. And I suppose being new in Cork and not knowing anybody, do you know, usually on a Saturday morning you drop your kids off, you go away, you do your shopping, and you come back and you collect them, do you know, for the hour they're training. But because I didn't know anybody, I used to stick around because you'd be chatting to people on the sideline, have a cup of coffee and that. And I suppose the more I was doing that, the more I got to know people and the friendlier I became. Do you know, you have generations upon generations who play here. But obviously the club is a big part of their social life. So say if we're travelling away from matches, everybody there'd be a rota to make sure that somebody's there to take the more senior members so they can go to the matches. Like we have Stan, who he writes a match report for every single match. You know, Stan is in his 80s, like his reports are legendary. Noel does the announcements here at the home games. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I want to give back to the club. I feel that the club gives an awful lot to the younger members. I think it gives an awful lot to the community, and you don't hear a lot about that. I think just rugby as a whole, rugby as a sport as a whole, it kind of, you know, there's a camaraderie around it that you don't get with any other sport. Do you know, like, yes, they go in and they kill each other on the pitch, but when you walk off, everybody walks off as friends. And I think it fosters a sense of community, not only within your own club, but within clubs you go and visit. Rascal, who's going to win the AIL? Young Munster? Clontarf? Lansdowne? Cork Con?